He ruled an empire before he was old enough to drive a chariot, and he died before the world would ever know his name. Long before the discovery of his tomb made him the most famous pharaoh in history, Tutankhamun was a child born into chaos. His father, Akhenaten, had defied tradition, abandoning Egypt's ancient gods and proclaiming the sun disk, Aten, as the only deity. For centuries, Egypt had been built on a balance of gods, temples, and priests. Akhenaten shattered it all. His religious revolution, known as the Amarna period, nearly tore the kingdom apart. When Akhenaten died, the empire was unstable, its people divided, its gods forgotten. Into this world, around 1341 BCE, the young prince Tutankhaten, the living image of Aten, ascended the throne at about 9 years old. But it wasn't the boy who ruled Egypt. Behind the golden mask of youth stood powerful advisors, men like I, a cunning court official, and Horemheb, a general loyal to the old order. Together they guided the child king, steering Egypt back toward tradition. The name Tutankhaten was changed to Tutankhamun, the living image of Amun, signaling the return of the old gods. The temples reopened, the priests reclaimed their power, and Egypt began to heal. Tutankhamun's reign was brief, yet his image as the boy king has endured for over 3,000 years. Ancient inscriptions portray him as a restorer of balance, a ruler who brought order after heresy. But beneath that image lies a more complex story, one of frailty, isolation, and mystery. Archaeological evidence reveals a fragile young man plagued by health issues. DNA analysis of his mummy suggests he suffered from malaria, a clubfoot, and a genetic bone disorder, perhaps the result of generations of royal inbreeding. His parents were likely brother and sister, a common but dangerous practice in Egyptian royal families meant to preserve divine bloodlines. Tutankhamun's tomb offers haunting evidence of a life cut short. Unlike the grand monuments of his predecessors, his burial chamber is small and hastily finished, as though his death took the kingdom by surprise. He died around the age of 19, and his passing remains one of ancient history's greatest enigmas. Was it illness? Was it an accident? Or was it murder? Theories abound. Some point to a chariot crash suggesting a fatal head injury. Others claim palace intrigue, that I, or Horemheb, eager for power, may have hastened the boy's end. Modern CT scans revealed a broken leg and possible skull trauma, but no definitive cause. What is certain is that his death plunged Egypt into uncertainty once again. His widow, Ankhesenamun, faced immense pressure. With no heir, she wrote to the Hittite king, Egypt's rival, begging him to send one of his sons to marry her. It was a desperate and unprecedented act. The prince was sent, but was murdered on his way to Egypt. Soon after, I took the throne and married her himself. Then Ankhesenamun vanished from history. And before we continue, if you're captivated by the lives behind history's greatest mysteries, take a moment to like this video, share it, and comment on what you think truly happened to Tutankhamun. And don't forget to subscribe to @Looking Back in Time for more cinematic stories from the ancient world. Tutankhamun's tomb remained sealed for more than 3,000 years, his name forgotten by time. The walls of his burial chamber tell a quiet story of a boy buried with the honors of a god, his spirit prepared for the journey to the afterlife. Paintings depict him greeted by Osiris, the Lord of the Dead, as priests perform rituals to guide his soul through eternity. And then, silence. He ruled an empire before he was old enough to drive a chariot. Pharaohs who came after erased the memory of the Amarna line from monuments and records. Long before the discovery of his tomb made him the most famous pharaoh in history, Tutankhamun was a child born into chaos. His father, Akhenaten, had defied tradition, abandoning Egypt's ancient gods and proclaiming the sun disk, Aten. He ruled for less than a decade, accomplished little by the standards of empire, and left no heirs. Yet through the accident of a hidden tomb and an undisturbed seal, he became the most recognizable symbol of ancient Egypt, a bridge between myth and archaeology. When Akhenaten died, the empire was unstable, its people divided, its gods forgotten. Each sentence can be long if the input requires it, but must not exceed 30 words. If a sentence is longer, split it into 2 or more natural sentences without altering the content.